Lock your car doors. Police are investigating an increase in vehicle break-ins. We'll tell you what officers want you to know.
HU is charging students $75 a night to stay on campus over break. Hear mixed reactions from students.
And a local student fights for sustainability by making jewelry out of recycled utensils. FDN News starts now. Hello and welcome back to FDN News. I'm Jonathan Young.
And I'm Mia Splendore.
HU's police department is investigating an increased number of vehicle break-ins on campus. Students have been returning to their cars to find things out of place. Officers say every car broken into so far has been unlocked in the student parking lots. Fortunately, police say nothing expensive has been reported stolen. They say don't pre-pack your car before traveling or leave anything of value visible.
Please, please, please just lock your cars. And if you see something, let's say you're walking back to your residence hall later in the evening and you see something that kind of looks suspicious or something out of place, just give us a call.
You can call HUPD 24/7 to have an officer assist you. Their number is 260-224-1412.
Campus has risen their base pay for student workers. HU's senior leadership team approved an hourly wage increase from $7.25 to $8 for all student workers. The change came after the Student Government Association requested a pay raise be implemented. The university recognized the need for more competitive pay, and university leadership implemented the change January 1st. Students often find campus work to be the safest option to make some light income. However, some students have pointed out that many nearby businesses still offer a higher base pay.
For a person like me, it works out great, but I can also see that the university might be struggling to find people to work in certain areas because why would they work there when they can drive down the road and get a much higher paying job?
If you're curious about on-campus student jobs, visit the student employment page on Huntington University's website.
This year's recent extended stay fee is raising some eyebrows for students on campus. I set out in hopes to shed some light on the matter from both HU administrative and student perspectives.
We're not an apartment complex, we're not your mortgage, right? You know, our housing that we offer is built upon you going to class and that ability to help you through that process, right? So when that goes away during either Christmas break, semester break, or summer break.
Most university students find their temporary home on college campus while they study to get their degrees. However, colleges often struggle with how to approach housing over school year breaks.
I feel obligated for your safety and security, and so we have to staff it accordingly.
In a collaborative decision between Student Life and the business office, HU made the decision to charge students a flat rate fee of $75 per night for on-campus stay over key semester breaks.
What's the big deal? It's just one night. Well, again, you stack, 200-300 of those things, and you've changed the equation as far as my needing to staff it, how we staff it.
Many students have taken issues with the new fee, with some suggesting that it is an unfair policy.
To me, just is ridiculous because I'm paying for 16 weeks to live on campus. So to me, I've already paid my rent. Kicking me out seems like stealing from me.
Staying at HU over break is one thing that I definitely avoid because I don't want them to be draining my wallet like that every day.
I can probably understand kind of the student chatter out there related to this, but that is never the lived reality.
The policy was enacted last August, but students have recently become more aware of its effects on them as the school year runs its course.
I think it should be $0 that we have to pay.
Administrators hope students are able to grasp the complexity of the situation, but admit that the policy is still a work in progress.
Students can contact Brian Jaworski at bjaworski@huntington.edu for any questions or requests regarding campus extended stay.
Students are finding new ways to be sustainable here on Huntington's campus. Specifically, sophomore Reagan Sanderson reuses spoons and crafts them into jewelry. Reporter Megan Hostetler uncovers the story behind Sanderson's business and the local businesses in which she sells her products.
Walking into Huntington's HG on Vine Street and Bellazo Revived Boutique in Wabash, you'll see lots of handcrafted jewelry. One section belonging to sophomore Reagan Sanderson.
I chose to do spoon rings because they were really popular in the 60s, and that was known as like the hippie generation, and I've always felt pretty drawn to that.
Each one of her jewelry releases are one of a kind, and every spoon ring is unique and different from each other. Sustainability and the reusing of materials is a key value that Reagan and the other businesses that carry her jewelry hold.
My parents, we ate food from the garden, and so that's kind of how I was raised. And so I've always just practiced that really minimal lifestyle, the sustainability of like growing your own food and buying clothing that was from thrift stores or secondhand clothing stores.
The main focus of the storefront is to give a place for other people to come in and bring their creations and bring what they have to the table and give them a place to sell. A lot of them use reclaimed materials like the spoon rings.
Reusing and reducing the waste of the environment has always been a practice that Reagan has carried within her business and even tries to incorporate into her lifestyle.
It's been one of my main inspirations is lean towards more sustainable things and making jewelry just a part of that, because I think I'm really into like growing my own food and being sustainable in that way, so I think implementing it in another area of my life is really cool to do.
A creative passion for sustainability has turned into a small business. Looking at the local area, I also look at the surrounding businesses that hold Reagan's jewelry and what her jewelry and message means to them.
So I have some other artists who make jewelry, but I didn't have anyone who made spoon rings. And I love the fact that she would turn vintage pieces into art and jewelry. So when she brought them in, I was blown away.
It pays for Reagan to be sustainable every day. What started off as a hobby has progressed into a profitable small business. Reagan hopes to start a new line of earrings and possibly necklaces in the short future.
Because I have a whole bin of scrap silverware at home right now, and so I plan to use like some ends and make it into like little chains or dangly earrings like that.
You can find Reg's Rings in Balazzo Revived Style, a Wabash sustainable boutique, and a new Huntington coffee shop called HG Market on Vine. Check out her work on social media by following @Reg's Rings on Instagram.
Student art can be overlooked on college campuses, but Huntington University's art department wants to change that by promoting their students' art through a yearly gallery. FDN's Elliot Martin uncovers what the exhibit means for students.
A closer look at a painting, a long stare at a 3D sculpture, a conversation with a friend about a photo. This is what the HU's art department's annual student gallery is all about.
I think it's important to promote our student art just so that the people on campus have a chance to come over to the gallery to see it and for the students to be able to sell their artworks.
HU's art department puts on an annual ceremony for the art created in the department each year. This show helps students grow in many different capacities.
You get a lot of different experience. You can, like when you mount the project, which is kind of like a framing of it, or mounting it, just kind of like preparing something for a gallery. And also like the pricing of things. For the gallery, you have to price your pieces in case anyone wants to buy it.
Ranging from underclassmen to seniors, awards were given for some of the best work. But in the end, it brings students together for one bigger goal.
I think it's just really neat to see all of the students working together to hang the show and their excitement and seeing all the different pieces and encouraging each other.
Not only does this show build up their experience and resumes, but it also is an enjoyable experience for everyone.
It's so cool to see what everyone's working on the whole year. You can see just the excitement of the artist as they explain their projects.
Make sure you go check out the art show before it closes on April 21st.
HU and HU Arizona took home a record 23 awards in the 2022 Broadcast Education Association Awards. The BEA announced the awarded projects from across the country this past Tuesday. Out of thousands of submissions, HU received 23 awards in total for faculty and student work. Among these, a few won Best in Competition, and one animated short, Cupidella and the Rainbow, took away a Best of Festival award. Dean of the Arts Lance Clark happily congratulated the students' achievements.
I'm just a big, proud, papa of our program. I get so proud, like a parent would, of their children. I mean, in a way, our students are, we're just so proud of them. We work with them, we teach them, we're in the trenches, and then to see their art be celebrated like this, there's just like no greater feeling.
The students with projects that won Best in Festival will get the chance to travel to Las Vegas for a formal awards ceremony. To view the full list of 2022 winners, go to beaweb.org/festival.
Students in the film program at Huntington University are gearing up for next year's BEA submissions in a unique way. Reporter Matt Fouts shows us how these students are taking their talents to the next level.
Scheduling to editing and everything in between. Film students at Huntington University are preparing themselves for what is to come after graduation, one shot at a time.
Cut.
All of the students in the film program work together to create multiple short thesis films a semester, all of which are led by juniors and seniors.
And they're all inclusive. They focus in on, one, telling great stories, but two, focusing in on directing, producing, and all the various department head areas.
The teamwork aspect and the equipment and all of the different departments working together, the process feels really professional, but it also feels really educational at the same time.
The students all get lots of opportunities to get plenty of experience, as there are multiple of these student thesis films created each semester.
It's just a really tall task to get that number of films ready to go, but our students have been up for it. They've learned how to be disciplined, they've learned how to work as teams, they learned how to work in a production schedule that will deliver that kind of content.
Not only do these skills benefit students during their time at HU, but students can also carry these skills over into jobs after graduation.
I think back on my story training that I learned in screenwriting classes and on the junior and senior film sets at Huntington, and that's been invaluable experience, invaluable lessons that I've been able to take physically, use those in the workplace day in, day out. I'm giving story notes, I'm refining scripts. Honestly, I'm so grateful. I would not be where I am. I wouldn't feel as confident in my day-to-day job if I didn't have the background experience that I gained on those 20 plus sets we were on during our time at Huntington.
Learn more about HU's film program by visiting huntington.edu.
Huntington students tested their cooking skills at SAB's event, Chopped. This past Friday, students came out in teams of 2 and competed in 3 different rounds of culinary expertise. After each round, each team was given a certain point value based on how well their dish was done. Leaders awarded the team with the highest score a gift card to Applebee's. SAB member Leah Eifeles discussed one of her favorite dishes from the night.
It was like a deep fried Oreo ball with some ice cream on the side, so that was really good. It was really good use of the air fryer.
SAB hopes everyone will come out to their next event, the Easter egg hunt, on April 10th.
Coming up after the break, the city of Huntington has removed public scooters from downtown. Find out why and if the two-wheelers will return after the break. Welcome back to FDN News. After being here for a little more than a week, the city of Huntington has removed all electric scooters. During the city council meeting on April 13th, the city decided to remove all electric scooters, citing safety concerns. Leaders hope to reintroduce them when appropriate safety regulations are in place. Morel Scooters are out of Marion, Indiana, owns and operates the scooter rental business. The next city council meeting is scheduled for April 26th. Leaders hope to polish safety regulations and see if the city's code restricts the usage of electric scooters.
Kids brushed up on their skating skills in the city's Huntington on Ice event. Over the weekend, children and their families enjoyed 2 days of ice skating at Rotary Centennial Park, downtown. Thanks to local businesses, leaders brought a synthetic rink to the park. Organizers provided families with free skate rentals, refreshments, and music. The Huntington Downtown Business Association hopes to provide local residents with more options for activities in the downtown area.
It's so much fun to see the families that come out and enjoy the skating and just have a fun time. This is something they'll remember as adults, that, I remember that time when we went downtown and skated in the parking lot.
Go to visithuntington.org for more information on upcoming Huntington community events.
There's a new bakery downtown featuring desserts with options for those with allergies. Bear and Beak owner Sharon Metzger and her husband are HU alumni who have stayed in the community. Opening last July, the bakery is located downtown and is looking to open a new location to become more accessible to the public. Metzger invites everyone to come try their bakery products that are inclusive to those with restricted diets.
New people and having first-time customers, so any college students that want to come down or folks that are just interested in hearing about, seeing what we offer and tasting our products, we'd love to have you join us.
Bear and Beak welcomes any first-time or returning customers to try their products.
Eagle watchers from all over Indiana recently flocked to Salamone Reservoir for a different type of watch party. The birds come down from Canada during the winter, which makes cold weather the ideal time to go eagle watching. The park's tour has 3 stops, one at a local nest, one at Salamone Dam, and the last at a roost area by the Mississinewa Dam. The Upper Wabash Interpretive Center's goal for the tour is educating people on wildlife conservation and preservation.
As we teach people about the eagles and what a great comeback they've made in the state, we hope that people share with each other how to enjoy them from a distance.
Salamone Park hosted 5 successful eagle watches this winter. The tours will be back again next year.
The annual Christian music tour, Winter Jam, brought some joy through music in Fort Wayne. FDN's Elliot Martin got on the ground with some of the people connected with this tour.
We're all in this together. We are here to celebrate God and celebrate Jesus, and we're here to have a good time and to turn up and to praise.
Every year, from January to March, a large group of Christian musicians go on tour together all across the U.S. in hopes of spreading the gospel. They came to Fort Wayne's Coliseum on February 17th, charging a $10 admission at the door.
Hopefully they take away something, especially if they're not familiar with faith or Christianity.
Winter Jam is Christian music's biggest multi-artist tour. This year, the tour hosted big names in the industry like Skillet, Taryn Wells, and KB.
Just have a good celebration of God in one night, and to celebrate all of the amazing, talented artists that are within the Christian market.
They'll finish their tour on March 27th in Allen, Texas.
For more information about Winter Jam, you can visit 2022.jamtour.com.
It's been a busy week for sports, right, Corey?
Yes, it has. Coach Lori Kohler is ending her legacy with the women's basketball team. Find out what's coming up next on FDN News.
That's it! Catch and fire. It's on the... He made it!
Hi, I'm Corey Donovan, and welcome to your sports recap of the week. Let's get started. After 3 decades, Huntington University's athletic director Lori Kohler is stepping down as the head women's basketball coach. We sat down with Coach Kohler earlier this week, and she tells us that it's a decision that she doesn't take lightly.
So thankful to the university for, again, taking a chance on a 23-year-old back 36 years ago and giving me the opportunity to have a position of a lifetime.
After 36 years, Lori Kohler is stepping down as the head coach of women's basketball at HU, but she's staying on as the athletic director. She's been serving in both roles for decades, 2 big jobs that have only gotten bigger over the years.
Doing both roles, neither one was getting done as to the level of excellence that I would want both of them to be done at. And so made the decision fairly early on that this would be my last year of coaching.
Kohler made this decision on her own, saying she's been evaluating herself at the end of each year to decide if staying in both roles is the right decision.
I would say the straw that broke the camel's back was last year with COVID. Really took a toll on me in terms of the additional stresses and strains and challenges that came with that.
When Kohler was a student athlete, Dr. Pat Zazula was the athletic director at Huntington University. She was the first female collegiate athletic director in the state of Indiana, a legacy Kohler says was important to her career.
I've had good examples of females in leadership positions throughout my career. It is something that's part of our heritage here at Huntington, and I'm appreciative of being someone that's reaped the benefit of that.
This isn't the end for Lori at HU, and she's looking forward to continuing her work here in future years.
Kohler says she is excited to be part of the hiring process to pick her successor. Coming up, we have the women's softball team picking their new season coach. Coach Erin Rethlake brings experience with playing softball at the University of Kentucky. She's also a native to Huntington. Rethlake hopes to bring knowledge and different strategies to the team to a new level. Although the team started off with a 1-3 record, she says the team is showing many positives and exciting potential for on and off the field. Team leader Bree Hines says she's already got good chemistry between being the coach and the team.
I think she brings a lot of the other side of the game. Like obviously she played that D1 side and she got to see the mental aspect as well as the physical. So instead of focusing on just one side of the game, we're growing constantly in all aspects.
The softball team's first home game is March 18th at 3 p.m. as they take on Spring Arbor. And Huntington University's Overwatch team began their spring season in a new international league. Only 3 weeks into the season, the team found 4 back-to-back wins. This ranks them as the #1 seed in their division with an undefeated record. HU's team joined the National Esports Collegiate Conference to compete in the spring season. Of Overwatch, NECC hosts hundreds of universities across North America.
Yeah, I am super happy about the team's performance so far. Even just hearing the broadcasters talk about our team as they cast the games from the NECC, telling us that we are one of the smartest teams in our league strategically, and one of the most exciting teams to watch. So all those things combined to be kind of a really just exciting kind of energy that we get to bring to this whole program.
Watch team has 5 more games scheduled this semester. To watch the team's journey through the spring semester, go to twitch.tv/HU_esports.
Thank you, Corey.
Of course.
And thanks again for tuning in for another installment of FDN News.
Don't forget to check us out online at forresterdigital.net or on Instagram at forresterdigital.
Have a great day.